If you want, we can talk about what led us to use wheels instead of legs. That way, we can tell you the sad version and version 2.0, which is even sadder. Or if you'd rather, we could do it like the movies, and we'll embellish everything with a tearful story of effort and determination. But there's something we have to tell you. We're not superheroes. We didn't feel like them when we climbed to over 2,430 meters above sea level, or in the most beautiful and incredible places in the world. Unlike superheroes, we thought the same thing anyone would. We felt grateful to be there because it made us understand several things. But before we start to tell you, could you please change the music? Because there in Machu Picchu, we realized that despite everything, this is not a cheap imitation of life. This is not a copy or a simulation. This is not a lake that longs with all its heart to be the sea. This, my friends, is life. Life at its fullest. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Don't let anyone make you feel otherwise. Believe us. We are saying this for every tear shed, for every person hugged. In flickering neon lights with fireworks lighting up the sky. Life. Pack your bags, recover the ability to wonder. Open your heart and let it explore. But even then, you won't be prepared for this, because we are not inviting you to travel. We are inviting you to live.
Hello everyone, my name is Camilo and I work at Will the World, where we are empowering people with disabilities to explore the world without limits. First, I want to tell you a little bit about myself and how I started working in Will the World. My name is Camilo Lizarralde and I'm a 33-year-old Colombian designer. 7 years ago, I broke my back in a cycling accident and ended up with a spinal cord injury that paralyzed my body from the chest down. One of the first things on my mind when I got hurt was, how am I going to travel again? I started researching online and the information wasn't clear or just wasn't there. Needless to say that my first travel was full of learning and challenging moments. It is hard to travel with a disability, but it shouldn't be that way. Will the World started when Álvaro and Camilo, our co-founders, had the idea to visit Torres del Paine, one of the most inaccessible places on the planet. Álvaro, like me, uses a wheelchair. In doing so, they realized that there was no accessibility information about anything. Where to stay, what to expect, how to get there, nothing. Long story short, Álvaro became the first person in a wheelchair to complete the W circuit in Patagonia. This story went viral, and hundreds of people started reaching out wanting to repeat the same experience. So they started to plan this trip to others because they had the detailed accessibility information of how to accomplish such a remote and unique experience. And that's how Will the World started, with the purpose of making the world accessible. People with disabilities face different challenges when traveling, not only to Patagonia or remote destinations, but to book hotels in cities like New York or London, or find accessible things to do in Cancun or Barcelona. Accessibility information is just very hard to find, and each person with disabilities has different accessibility needs. And also, hospitality business don't know how accessible they are, and they don't make this a priority. We are 15% of the population, and if we consider our friends and family, we sum up to 30% of the population that have different accessibility needs. Will the World is an online travel marketplace to find and book accessible places to stay, things to do, and multi-day trips. With accurate accessibility details of every listing, smart recommendations for each user, and expert customer experience that guarantees that the accessibility you see is the one you get. You can choose from over 100 destinations where you can book a hotel, plan a visit to a new place, or even book a trip with other people that share your passion to travel. This last one is a new idea that we are launching this year based on the amazing output that can come from traveling within a community with people that share your needs and understand your way of experiencing the world. Why travel with us? Simple, because we make sure that your accessibility needs are met. Our system will recommend you experiences that suit your needs, and we understand you. Everyone has different needs and levels of independence. How do we do it? Through technology and community. We've developed an app to map the accessibility of hotels, tours, and activities. This app is called the Accessibility Mapping System, and it is designed to gather all the relevant accessibility data points such as door width, bed heights, type of shower, assistance at tour, distance of travel, type of terrain, etc. Once these details are verified, the system generates an automatic certification and the listing is ready to be booked on our webpage. On the user side, we have the accessibility profile that is built by each user when signing up to specify their accessibility needs. Once this is completed, our system then recommends the listing that best satisfies their needs so that they can have a confident booking. This is how at Wheel the World we are working every day to have more accessibility information and more people traveling with a worry-free travel mindset. Because traveling shouldn't be a hassle for us. On the contrary, it should be empowering, healing, and it should make us feel alive. Lastly, I wanted to leave you with a short video of one of our dearest travelers visiting the Riviera Maya in Mexico. Because I could sit here and talk for hours about what we do at Wheel the World, but I find it that the best way is to see other members of our community telling their story. Thank you for your time. Goodbye.
I feel like I don't have the words to describe it or words that would justify or articulate how I'm feeling at that time. I just feel like you just have to go and do it yourself. I've always been a traveller. I love travelling. London's always been my home, and I don't think I'd live anywhere else, but that's why I like to travel and see other cultures, and just because the world is so big and there's so much going on in the world. I've travelled to almost every single continent. I'm going to South America, and then the only other one I haven't been to is Antarctica. So that's something I'm looking to do. And then after that, people are asking me what's next. So the only other thing is, space. Yeah, so I had my accident 6 years ago, but I don't feel like that has stopped me from doing anything. I probably do more outrageous and outgoing things now than I did before. It's just about finding the right way to do it and pushing boundaries and finding challenging things to do. I think that's how I came across Wheel the World. Like the company, the tours and everything that they offer sounded exactly like right up my street. It's just nothing that I could ever imagine. It's opened up quite a lot for me as well, because even though I say I like challenges, like with the caving, even now I look back and I don't know how they managed to get me down there to experience it. It's crazy what the company does, and they've just gone above and beyond, just to get me to where I need to be. We've actually managed to do everything that's on the itinerary, and it's been so great. I've enjoyed this so much. It's probably one of the best holidays I've had, and I'm really looking forward to going on another trip with them.